Can you discuss what the security guarantees you plan to give to Sweden and Finland while they apply to NATO, given that it could be an 8-month to a year-long process? What are the bilateral sort of security guarantees you're willing to?
Yeah, so I think that's farther afield of where we are right now, Jen. They haven't even made a formal application to NATO. So there's a multi-step process here going from application to accession. And I don't want to get ahead of where we are. What I said last week applies today. These are two countries with modern militaries. They're two countries that we have operated and exercised with. We know them. They know us. From just a bilateral U.S. relationship perspective, there's a level of comfort there. And we're confident that should there be capabilities or support that either nation might need in the interim between application and accession, that we'd be able to work something out with them. But I don't want to get ahead of where we are right now.
And what is your reaction to Putin's response to their informing him that they will likely apply for NATO?
I think, look, I'd let Mr. Putin speak for himself. I don't think there was a great shock or surprise that the Russians reacted the way they did about the news of these two countries wanting to join NATO. I think there's a few things that we all need to keep in mind. One, NATO is a defensive alliance. It has never, and it does not now, pose a threat to any other nation, and that includes Russia. Two, it's not up to Mr. Putin or any other third party to get a veto on whether a nation joins NATO or not. That is between that nation and the other members of NATO to decide. And again, there's a multi-step process here. Three, I think we need to remember who is actually the aggressor here and whose actions probably are motivating those two nations to want to join NATO, and that's Mr. Putin and Russia themselves. They made a decision to invade Ukraine, a nation which also posed no threat to anybody. They made a decision to jump in there with hundreds of thousands of troops, or more than 100,000 troops, and they're the ones prosecuting this war in an utterly brutal way. And all of that can stop right now if Mr. Putin made the right decision.